Hello, once again, this is Antonio, and I'm coming to you with another exciting video. In this video, we have another court case, family court. Mom and dad broke up, and then dad received news that breaks his heart. He finds out that you are not the father. That's right. That's what she told him. You are not the father. So, in hindsight, right? Dad is going to be on the hook for possibly signing a birth certificate and more things to come. Who you think is right and wrong in this case? Let's dive into it.
Aware that she was also engaged in sexual relations with someone else.
No, Your Honor, I was not informed.
Okay.
I did get a call from, I think it was DHS or CPS. Somebody from there had stated that both of her children were taken away because of her being an unfit parent.
Okay.
Dean versus Christopher Rowe.
So we're before the court pursuant to the motion by presumed father to determine child born out of wedlock. In this case, it was filed on or about March 16, 2023 by, again, the defendant in this particular matter. Mr. Magnuson, I note that the plaintiff is not present, and in my office informed me you were trying to get a hold of the plaintiff. Are you able to do that?
I was not able to get a hold of her. I called the number we had and I left a voice message a couple minutes ago, but that's as far as I could get.
Okay.
I believe we can proceed without her. I would have no objection to that. I would note that we do have an exhibit, the genetic testing, which was accomplished in this case. I don't know if the court's in possession of that, but it's.
I do have that. That's the report dated June 26, 2023, signed by Paya Kumar, PhD from DNA Diagnostic Center.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, you filed the motion to have the child, Micaiah Lee Rowe, determined not to be issue of, again, of or determined not to be your child in this particular matter. And would you explain why do you believe that?
Your Honor, it's because I was under the impression from Katie Levine that it was my child from the beginning, but we had some further testing done privately, and it came up negative, so I wanted to go through the courts to do it through the courts and prove that I'm not father.
Okay. And in this particular matter, obviously that you believe that you may have been at that time. Did the plaintiff represent to you that you were the father, or how did that happen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So clearly at that time, and during the time that the child would have been conceived, I don't have the date of birth. Do you have that, Mr. Magnuson, by chance?
One moment, Your Honor.
Or Mr. Rowe, do you know the date of birth?
I'm not sure, Your Honor.
Okay.
I think it's September.
Mr. Rowe, at the time that the plaintiff represented to you that you were in fact the father, presumably you would have then, at the time of conception, being engaged in sexual relations with the plaintiff?
Sorry?
That the plaintiff represented to you that you were the biological father. So the court is asking, at the time that the date of conception, you would have been engaged in sexual relations with plaintiff. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you were not aware that she was also engaged in sexual relations with someone else?
No, Your Honor, I was not informed.
Okay. You put in your petition or your motion that the alleged father is Tyler Ellis. How did you come to determine that Mr. Ellis was in fact the alleged father?
Your Honor, it's because I ended up splitting up with Katie Levine about a year ago, and or a little over that. And she ended up telling me afterwards that she was talking to somebody else, and it was one person in specific, and I had gotten a hold of him, and he had known about this as well.
Okay. So again, the plaintiff didn't inform you that you found out through another third party?
No, Your Honor.
No, you said?
Wait, sorry.
I said, so plaintiff didn't tell you that you were not the biological father. You found that out through a third party, Mr. Ellis?
No, Your Honor. I had found out through Katie Levine.
Okay, so she informed you at some point. She informed you at some point that you were not the biological father. When did that happen?
That was after I had split with her, Your Honor.
And you said that was about a year ago?
Roughly, yes.
Okay. Mr. Magnuson, did you have the, you able to look up the date?
I do have the conception. We have in our records, the conception occurred on or about December of 2020.
Okay.
I do have the date of birth here if you need it.
Okay, yep.
September 23rd of 21, 9/23/21.
Okay. Good. For some reason, the paper they get, stuff they give me that doesn't have a date of birth on it, so. Mr. Rowe, you did engage in and participate in, again, a DNA testing. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And the front of the court has, in fact, made reference to that. Mr. Rowe, do you have any objection to the court admitting the DNA test report of 6/26/2023 into evidence?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Magnuson, presumably you don't either?
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay. I will admit that as defendant's exhibit A, as we don't have a plaintiff with us. Mr. Magnuson, do you have any questions of Mr. Rowe?
No, I believe the court's covered everything.
Okay. Okay. Anything else, Mr. Rowe, that you have that you'd like the court to be aware of?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Rowe, you have an opportunity to make a closing argument. Would you wish to do that, or you want to just waive that?
I would like to make a statement.
Okay, go ahead.
I did get a call from, I think it was DHS or CPS, just a couple weeks ago. And somebody from there had stated that both of her children were taken away because of her being an unfit parent.
Okay, well, that's not relevant to these proceedings, so that's,
Okay.
go ahead. Anything else?
No, sir.
Okay. Mr. Magnuson, anything you have?
Just briefly, Your Honor, while it's unfortunate that the plaintiff chose not to appear, I do think what's been presented to the court today does constitute clear and convincing evidence that the defendant is not the father of this child. I believe everything under the ROPA statute has been satisfied. The child is less than 3 years of age, certainly was when this matter was filed. I think all those boxes have been checked, and with the exhibit that's been admitted, I don't think there's any question about paternity.
Okay. The court will make the following finding. I've heard the testimony of the defendant in this particular case. He's testified that at the time that the child was born, he was under the impression, and plaintiff represented to him, that he was the biological father, that it was only about a year after that when they separated that the plaintiff informed him he was not the biological father. He then proceeded with DNA testing, And that in fact confirmed that he was not the biological father and admitted as defendant's exhibit A as the DNA test report dated 6/26/2023, signed by Paya Kumar, PhD, from the DNA Diagnostic Center, confirming that the defendant's probability of paternity is 0%. As a result, with that and the other testimony, the court is clearly convinced that he is not, in fact, the biological father, that in fact, the child, in this case, Micaiah Lee Rowe, date of birth 9/23/2021, is a child born out of wedlock, and that he is not the father in this matter. As a result, the court will make an order for that determination, and then I guess, Mr. Magnuson, you'll have to proceed against Mr. Ellis if you can get people to cooperate.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Rowe, the court will enter that order today. If you wish to get a copy of that, you can do so through the clerk's office, and confirming that, again, what the court stated on the record today. Anything else, Mr. Rowe?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Magnuson?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you both. The court will end this matter at 1:50 p.m.
And no.
Okay, so clearly it was confirmed that dad was not the father of that child. Mom was foul. She didn't even show up to court. Us men and female, we just, we got to understand the partner that you're dealing with in life, because it could turn really, really bad on both sides of the spectrum. But nevertheless, this is Antonio with Team Tiggio. Please like, comment, subscribe, as we're going to keep pumping out these videos. We're going to keep pumping out these videos, and we will see you in the next video. Hit that notification bell. And once again, we'll see you next time.